The Rocky Mountain Horror Show.
Okay. 3 spoopy, 5 me.
Okay.
Let's get a shot of, here we are, speaking of Family Guy, as Peter and Lois at the Halloween party that we attended.
Yes. Technically, you're seeing these a little bit early, especially because we're going to be wearing the same costumes again since they are our official Halloween costumes for our very first Halloween live show.
So we're going to try.
We're going to try.
Going to try to go live. Do or do not. There is no try. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Thanks, Yoda. We're going to try to go live on Halloween on either Facebook or YouTube or hopefully both.
Uh-huh.
Let's get back to the spooky stuff.
I got something spooky for you.
Snacks first?
Yes, snacks first.
Okay, this is
snacks first.
This is one of my favorites, and I'm not sure. We did this last year, didn't we?
I think we did, and it's also one of my favorites.
Okay, here we go.
Uh-huh.
And you'll notice these are Brock's candy corns, BRACHS, and Planters dry roasted peanuts. They have to be these 2 things.
Right.
Don't settle for less.
Well, and isn't Brock's the one that uses real honey?
I don't know.
I don't know either,
You
but
can look at the ingredients.
you know, I'm just gonna say it.
Huh.
I kind of think candy corn gets a bad rap.
I do too.
I don't love it.
Every year you see those people bitching about the waxy crayonness of candy corn.
Right. Which, first off, I actually kind of enjoy.
Well, and you're going to talk about that, but not talk about those grandma peanut butter and black and orange wrapped.
Oh, those things are horrible.
Whatever those things are.
Yeah.
And circus peanuts.
Yeah, right.
You don't have a problem with those?
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think that most people just tend to eat old, gross, stale candy corn, and that's why they don't like it.
Right.
But the fresh stuff?
Oh, the fresh stuff.
That's nice. I think it's
so
good.
fresh.
I mean, is it the most amazing
Certified
candy?
fresh.
No, it's not the most amazing candy, but is it the worst?
Here we have the
Absolutely
handful
not.
of, yeah. We have the handful of candy corn. You mix it with some peanuts. If you haven't tried this, I'm sure a lot of you are saying, yeah, we know, Mike. Mm-hmm. This is my first one of the season. You can't stop. Mm-hmm. This moment right here is when my diet goes out the window for the entire rest of the year, for the holidays and everything.
So hard for it not to.
Yeah.
Oh, Bean Boy can have that. He
There
loves
you go,
those.
Rango.
He likes peanuts. So when you combine these 2 things, what you get is basically a salted nut roll,
Yeah.
which personally is one of my favorite candy bars. It might even be my favorite candy bar. It's just so good.
It's got that salty, sweet
And it
creaminess.
kind of reminds me of my dad.
Yeah?
Yeah. He'd always eat those and he'd always buy them for me and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, I always think of my dad when I think of salt. That, and also his car always smelled like peanuts because that's all he ate.
Sort of like the other day, I got a bottle of Dial Gold soap. Mm-hmm. And that reminds me of my grandparents' house.
That's sweet. Well, now that I'm done scarfing down a bunch of food, why don't I tell you about our 4th and final spooky local legend?
Okay.
We're going to be talking today about the one and only Crowley house. Now, the youths of today don't get to experience this because it has since been demolished.
Oh.
Yeah. But it's a house, well, it was a house over on 49th Street. I want to say it was demolished within like the last 10 or 15 years. I actually think I may have been there once, but I don't know for sure if it was it or not.
49th South, or no, 49th East, I'm betting. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, way out there.
Uh-huh.
But anyway.
Toward the foothills. It's not so way out there anymore. Now that
not
Thunder
anymore.
Ridge is there and all the foothill neighborhoods.
Right. But I know that the year, if it's the one I'm thinking of, and I have to ask my friend Adam if that is where we took that photo shoot that one time, if that's the house. But when we went there, it felt like it was the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, it was this creepy old abandoned house that still had a bunch of the furniture inside. It was vandalized by a bunch of teenagers, of course. So that sort of added to the spookiness. But like it had bed frames in it and photos and things like that. There are 2 main stories around this house. I found a Facebook thread talking about it where someone commented underneath saying that their dad was the one who their parents owned this property and their dad had it torn down to help deter Satan worshiping that was happening in the home.
Oh, wow.
Spooky and fun.
That was also the rumor about the O.E. Bell building.
Yes,
across
right.
from the Museum of Idaho and Trinity United Methodist Church.
Right. But I do think it's kind of cool that they're very specifically, like, someone so close is saying that that's why it came down. You know, also great to know I have fans.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's stupid. Anyway, the story around this house
Could be
goes...
the next Maddie Danger.
Yeah, right? So the story around this house basically tends to go one of two ways depending on who you're hearing it from. But the two main versions that I've heard are the main one being that the dad hung himself in the garage and the family packed up and left. That's the less exciting one. But the more in-depth version is that...
Yeah, dad hung himself. Boring.
It's bad, but I mean... Yeah. This one is more enticing.
Okay.
But basically, the big story I heard is that it was a nuclear family of like 2 kids, mom, dad, and the kids were crossing the road while they were playing in the front yard. Apparently, it's hard to see the road from the hill because the house kind of sits on top. So they were crossing the road, and a motorist didn't see the kids and killed them.
And Pet Cemeteried those gauges?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. And then about a
If
year...
it's true.
Yeah. And then a year later, the mother, still in mourning, decided to join them. And then the dad, having lost everyone, hung himself in the garage.
That is a compelling story.
Very. Yeah. And sort of the sightings that people claim to see. So even with the house gone, people claim to see like lights where windows would be. They claim to see kids that will appear randomly. And then if they are in the road and you're in your car, they'll vanish right before your car hits them. Which, thank goodness, because terrifying.
Yeah, right.
Like, I don't want to think I hit a kid. You know, like, that's such a dick move of a ghost to do.
Right.
You know? Like, don't make me stop outside your haunted house to make sure that I didn't murder anyone on accident.
You know what's worse than kids is ghost kids.
Yeah.
Those little brats.
And then some have also said, back when there was a garage structure, that if you looked in there at night, you'd see the dad's body hanging, which... could have just been a trick of the light.
Some of these are sounding familiar, though. Like,
right.
You know, having grown up here myself as well, it's like, yeah, I seem to, you know, I joked with a friend the other day that I've already forgotten some stuff that I know I knew once upon a time. Mm-hmm. And this may be one of those things.
Yeah.
We do have a habit of mentioning things like this on the show and getting comments like, oh, yeah, dude, that totally happened. Go check out blank.
Right,
so if you know what we're talking about or can offer any more.
Yeah, and you know what? If you've got
story.
a personal story of yourself at Crowley House, please leave it in the comments. I had such a hard time getting personal stories. Every time I went to someone and like had questions and was trying to get more information, I never heard back from anyone, and it was awful.
So just a ton of dead ends?
You might even say that I was ghosted. It's super dumb. But, you know, anyway, if you happen to hear this podcast and you want to help me tie up some of these loose ends, I would really appreciate it because I'm a nosy mofo and I want to know what's going on.
So we have a clear winner for our Halloween treats.
Right. I mean, we weren't necessarily judging them against each other, but it was just so obvious that, yeah.
It's the caramel apple sugar babies.
They were just so good, and they didn't get stuck in your teeth like the dots, and the flavor was there. Mm-hmm. They were the perfect mix of sour and sweet, too.
Don't know where you're going to be able to find these.
I mean, yeah, especially since they've cleared out all of the Halloween stuff everywhere already. I went in just the other day to buy a couple more Halloween decorations. It's all Christmas now. I'm pissed.
Yeah, already.
I'm pissed. I'm so mad.
Might try Love at First Bite for
Yeah.
these. Might be able to find them there.
I mean, they do have a little bit of everything, so I'd think so.
We will, like we said, try to do a live show on either Facebook or YouTube. If we're lucky, both. On Halloween night, we're going to give it a try, see how it goes. In the meantime, we're going to leave you with, remember our buddy Austin Allen? As we were doing this show, he sent me a message. I assume it's, remember his yard from last year?
Oh, yeah, I do.
I'm thinking that it's a video of his yard this year.
Oh, I hope so. I would love to see it.
So that's what we're going to leave you with. Austin Allen's yard. We'll put the address in the comments too.
Nice, so you can go visit.
Happy Halloween. See it either on Thursday, Halloween, or next Monday, and stay fresh cheese bags.